Good morning. So what shall I talk about today? How about the difficulty of learning a new language? This is a subject close to my heart because I have been studying Thai by myself ever since I came to Thailand, which is around 14 years now. It has been immensely difficult. Most certainly one of the most difficult things I have had to study in my life. And why is that? Why is it so difficult to learn a foreign language when you are an adult? You know, when you are a child, it is really easy to absorb language. Young babies just look at the faces of their parents or other people around them. They listen to the sounds and they copy. They learn the foundation of language before they can even read or write. Then when they begin to learn to read and write, they improve very quickly grasping grammar rules, expanding their vocabulary, and learning expressions and idioms. As research has shown, young people are already set up to learn a language from birth. The brain is formulated and arranged in such a way that it is very ready and willing to learn a language. One of the most amazing things about language learning is that almost anyone can do it. In fact, I think anyone can do it when they are a child. But as an adult, it is extremely difficult. Even people without any formal education, farmers, people who work in the countryside, maybe who have never been to school, are still able to speak and use a language, maybe just as well as people who have had a higher education and gone to university. So why is it so difficult to learn when we are adults? Looking at my own case, I can see many reasons. Firstly, memory. It is very difficult to remember vocabulary, expressions, grammar, structure. Even more difficult than learning something like higher mathematics or some difficult science topic. I find I can remember English words which I may not have used for many years, but immediately I see an English word in a book or hear it on the radio, I can remember the word and the meaning. But Thai words, maybe I might learn a new word one day and the following day I have already forgotten it. Our memory is much sharper when we are young, and things we learn when we are children tend to stick, whereas stuff we learn as adults we forget more easily. And then there is the difficult problem of pronunciation. When I learn Thai, I try to fit the Thai pronunciation into my English pronunciation. This follows the transliteration system used in Thailand, where Thai words are written in English with an approximate pronunciation. So the word for ginger in Thai, ginger, G-I-N-G-E-R, might be written K-I-N-G, king. So king is the approximate pronunciation of the word ginger in Thai in English letters. But this is by no means precise. Even if I learn this method, when I speak to Thai people, they may not understand my vocabulary. So I have to continually work on my pronunciation, try to listen to the way Thai people pronounce words, and try to follow their example. But this is really difficult. It takes an enormous amount of time, energy, and motivation. Anyway, I live in Thailand and I expect to be here until I die. So for me, it is a serious project which I don't want to give up on. I think one of the important things to learn from this is about childhood education. We can see that children learn things extremely easily, not only language but many other activities and skills. So this means we should be very careful to use full advantage of this. We should create an education system which really teaches children the things which will be important to them in their lives. Number one here, if you are a Thai child, is probably the English language. As I have already said, children can learn very quickly, and English is undoubtedly going to be extremely useful for them in their adult lives. So we should pay special attention to this in primary and junior schools. Of course, we all know that there are many inadequacies in the Thai education system, particularly the emphasis on grammar learning and not practice of the language in the classroom. Practice in terms of listening and speaking. We learn by using something, and language is no exception. We can't just learn by listening or just by reading. We have to use it. We have to listen and then try to construct our own sentences, and in that process we consolidate our memory of vocabulary, expressions, and grammar. I can think of many other examples of things which I learned as a child, which I know now would be extremely difficult to learn. For example, riding a bicycle. A friend of mine, an adult already in her 20s, who had never ridden a bicycle before, tried to start to learn. I watched her, and her efforts were really quite comical, but also deserving of sympathy. Every time she got on the bike and went forward 2 or 3 feet, she would fall off, either to the right or to the left. And after maybe 1 hour of trying, she gave up, finding it impossible to master this activity. But for everyone else who started riding bicycles when they were young, this would seem like one of the simplest activities and skills. I'm sure that in the end she will learn, but it would have been so much easier if she had learned when she was young. So physical skills are something we should definitely set as a priority in children's early education, and perhaps have much less focus on book learning about stuff which is probably not really going to be useful for the kids in the future. History, geography, various kinds of social studies. Personally, I think these subjects are probably more appropriate for university learning when the children have matured and can understand these concepts better. Childhood should be focused on the things which are learned far easier than when people are adults. and the stuff which is more appropriate for adults should be left until adulthood. When I think back on my childhood education, I really don't have much which I can say about it in a positive way. If I had the chance to be educated again, I would certainly choose a wholly different syllabus and system, and one which I definitely would have done is to have learned a second language at an early age. Being from England, we tend to neglect learning languages because we know that English is the world language. But I can now see that the skills involved in learning a second language would have been very useful to me now in studying Thai. Having only studied one language, English, it is very difficult to master the pronunciation of a foreign language because my tongue, vocal cords and brain are accustomed to only one type of pronunciation. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.